Hello, it's Monday, 6th of June. Let's start with the market forecast. And this week we have some very juicy publications that most likely will cause heavy moves on the markets, meaning ECB rate decision, or rather press conference and monetary policy statement, because the rates themselves most likely will not be changed this time. And second thing is US CPI reading, which is a measurement of inflation basically, which has been a very hot topic recently, if you know what I mean. So the reading will be crucial for futures Fed rate policy, but on that in a moment. So we must start with the calendar first and then go and discuss possible scenarios of price moves. So on Monday, as usual, nothing major will happen, but this time it will probably be even more boring since there's any publication of major data and a couple countries will have holidays. So first important data publication will start on Tuesday with the RBA rate decision, which are forecasted to double to 0.60% level. So later the day, we will get a PMI from the UK and Canada. On Wednesday, on the other hand, we will get Japan's and EU's GDP figures and the crude oil inventories. Thursday is ECB day. We will get a rate decision, which, as I said a minute ago, will most likely not be subject to changes, but we will have to focus on press conference and monetary policy statement, because recently we got CPI data from Eurozone, which, surprise, surprise, still are soaring, and we will have to wait for the ECB response to this, whether they will raise rates sooner than they initially planned or they are waiting for the fourth quarter. So this will be crucial for euro currency. And to be honest, I think they might still wait with their rate hike, since the war in Ukraine is dragging on and the costs of oil and gas are a great burden for EU economies, especially for the German manufacturing sector. Recently, they announced that they are gathering funds to help this industry to withstand the rising costs of energy, so I'm not that convinced that they will suddenly would want to add to this. So since the beginning of a rising inflation, they have shown that they have a different approach from other central banks and are not afraid to not act, we could say, which is a good thing. We discussed it many times on this channel, what is causing the inflation and rising rates surely will not help in a greater way to tame that. And then we have a Friday and a CPI reading from the US. This will be the key for the future approach of the Fed on rates. And if we will get a reading according to the forecast, which is delicately weaker than the previous one, it will mean that we have reached the peak inflation and FOMC might be less hawkish and wait a bit longer with the next rate hike, which will cause equities to rally and possibly weaken the dollar. And with that said, let's go to the charts. For a quick reminder, gold is running still according to the plan which we discussed in previous weeks. Oil just smashed my plans, and right now I don't see any clear direction, especially with the current fundamental situation regarding the latest OPEC meeting, where they declared 50% higher output increase, which will just mean that planning quota for September will be spread across summer months, but not increase the overall limit. And the second part is information that oil producers are heavily lagging behind their current production promised limits, and April was a record month with around 2.8 million barrels per day missing from agreed levels. So that is the reality we are in right now. Then we had Nvidia, which is going good for now, and then next is Euro USD, which went perfectly as planned. We made our targets and now we are again testing upper resistance. If we stay during the Monday at current level, I would want to look for a short trade here until 1.0573 level. And last is silver. First, we have bounced from 127 FIBO level, which will mean there is a harmonic pattern, which might work out. Next thing is that we already broke the resistance on 21.500 and also already made a retest of that level, which is another confirmation that we might go north from here. So I would go long here and set targets at $24 and $24.5. And okay, that is all for today. Thank you for watching, and till next time, guys.